Hi Mohammed, thank you for sending in your essay for correction. Really good to hear from you again. So let's have a look at this. Some people think schools have to be more entertaining, while others think their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? So an opinion essay. Right. There's been widespread public debate over the incorporation of entertainment in children's education. I believe schools should be more amusing, as this is likely to boost the learning process. This essay will discuss both sides and use examples. Okay, wow, perfect. Very nice start. The only thing I would do here, I'm cautious of changing. I know you've changed the word form, but I think you could do something more. So, incorporation of alternative exciting activities or something like that into children's education. So here, and then I have to go into children's education. What we also need to do is just acknowledge the other side of that question. So you have to make sure when you're reading the question at the beginning that you appreciate both sides. So yes, there's some people saying this, but there's also some people saying that. So rather than, you need to make this idea of comparison, rather than only focus on, or rather than only work for exams. So it should be more amusing. Okay, good. I like how you've developed that there. Okay, fine. Well done. Supporters are more joyful. I love that. I love that word. But I think you also need to put in here challenging and stimulating. Really go for it on a high level vocabulary here. Often point to the fact that this might improve the outcome of the teaching process. Okay, this is because, good, entertainment, it's not would here, it's could. Might or may, they all work well, but they are the right modal verbs for making a suggestion. Make children more interested in learning, perhaps diminish. So entertainment could, and then diminish. It works like a plural. The likelihood of boredom and truancy. Furthermore, happiness could sharpen senses, ripen the brain. We're not really talking about happiness here, but we're talking about a wider range of input, or again, activities, or extracurricular lessons. Be very careful to keep on track. We're not talking about happiness, we're talking about what's going on in school. Could probably, ripen the brain. We wouldn't say ripen the brain. Okay, we would say allow or encourage. Encourage, sorry. Those would be better verbs there. And consolidate memory. Yeah, good point. Lovely. Data from psychology demonstrates, okay, that people with elevated mood. I'm not sure of that example. To be honest, you need to relate that back to school and what they're doing in school. It's very interesting. You may be completely right, but your example should link to schools and activities. And what you haven't yet told me is that what these activities might be. So I hoped you would say it here, but you haven't. So entertainment, we could put it in here in the form of sport, or sport, art, or drama. So we need to show the examiner what are we talking about here. Otherwise, you have your view of entertainment and I have mine, but I don't know what you're thinking. Okay, so I think your example really must link to schools and activities, not to you're getting into psychology here. I want you to stay with schools. Yeah, that's okay. Right, so is this your new paragraph here? Let's make sure I absolutely know where your paragraphs are. Okay, so that will be my main comment on that one. Conversely, many experts dissent from this view, highlighting that entertaining ways of teaching are not always practical. Well, maybe, but that's not what the question's about. This is more important. So, should they educate? Really get back to that question. You kind of gone a little bit off track. You're kind of answering your own question now. Be careful of this. It happens really easily, doesn't it? But when you do your planning at the beginning, plan really carefully, then this won't happen. So, yeah, because they believe that exams or success in exams is the key or should be the key focus in during school time. Okay, so should be. So then that would get you into this absolutely right topic sentence for this paragraph. So now you're talking about the quality of teachers, but I want you to be talking about what the school should be doing. This back to this half of the question. Sole purpose is to educate. Okay, so that's really what I want this paragraph to be about here. Lack of experience. Okay, moreover, entertainment inspires playfulness. Yes, okay, yep. So that might be one reason why they don't like it. Disorder is the foe. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you need that. But this is an interesting example. Okay, that's an interesting example. You just need to change the topic of that paragraph to highlight that key idea of the other side of the question. But good language here, very interesting language. And conclusion, it appears. So it's an opinion essay. So again, I want your opinion. Yeah. So restate your opinion. It's undeniable. Okay, really interesting essay. I mean, you've got some lovely language in there. You write very nicely, but for me, the main problem is that you've moved away from the key element of that question, the key focus of what it should be, onto a different topic. Okay, have another look at that and see what you think. Okay, but great start. Great start. So doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills than reading. To what extent do you agree? Okay. Let's get this into paragraphs. Child development and upbringing can be very challenging. Okay, whether children benefit more from enjoyable activities here, such as, tell me what they are. More from taking part in. So it is very important, this idea of doing an activity with a child. Back to your question, doing an activity with a child. Be very careful. We're really specific with IELTS. Is a contentious issue? Okay. Not this essay agrees. It's you. Yeah? It's your opinion. Well-structured, joyful activities are probably more effective in growing children's good, nice skills and creativity. Okay, fine. Good. That's good. What you can do is give the name of a university. We'll show you this in the next essays that you're going to do, how to add these examples. So playful and entertaining events such as games and handicrafts could possibly help develop. You want the infinitive there, actually. Help develop and expand the growing juvenile brain in many ways. In one way, it creates happiness and laughter. Absolutely lovely, lovely. Well done. In addition, play and other enjoyable activities use more than one sense to acquire information. In other words, data reaches the brain via visual, auditory, and tactile and motor pathways. Okay, I mean, this is very technical. I feel like you're writing me a medical essay in a way, rather than a kind of IELTS essay. And I just... hang on, how long is this anyway? Yeah, it's also really long. So I'm going to cut that. I think you should limit yourself to 370 max. So I don't think you need that. And yeah, I mean, very interesting. But again, for me, that's not relating to children. So you should be talking about children learning, I don't know, team sports, for example. And what are they learning? They're learning to work in a team. They're learning to understand losing. They're learning to understand winning. Get this really back to the key idea of games and handicrafts. What are they learning, and why is that developing creativity? Not the psychology stuff. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Reading up to the horizon for good. Okay, lovely. It seems therefore imperative to make it more joyful by combining it with entertaining activities. Okay, yes, that's a very good idea. And starting with books, utilise a lively combination of colour to attract young children. Okay, play and other various motor activities could be inspired from devices and content of books. Utilise funny costumes to attract children's attention, to listen to the reading materials. Accordingly, reading could become, so more tentative here, more attractive, possibly more efficient. Okay, yep, fine. But remember the title again, doing an activity with a child. Yeah? So I think really keep the question in mind. I'd like to see your planning here. How are you doing your planning? Let's get a little table in here. So, doing these activities with a child and what skills, really break this down for me. And then we're going to make sure we answer the right question here. So this is very beautiful writing. How did you prepare for this? Because there's no mistakes or very few mistakes in here. This is very accurate, which is great. Well done. So bookstores was best shown that utilised does, so past tense there, to attract children's attention, to listen to reading materials. Accordingly, reading. So because this is was in the past tense, you should have reading became in the past tense there. So again, opinion. Okay, a latter can be boosted by combining it. Okay. Yes, very interesting. I mean, I don't know if you're medical or psychologist or whatever. Don't base this all around psychology. Just really think about what we're talking about. So playing sport, everything you can learn from that, and then everything from you can learn from reading. We're not asking you to make reading more fun. This whole paragraph is how could you make reading more fun? We're really comparing doing football to doing reading. Yeah. So I think my main issue with both these is make sure you really understand the question. Yeah. All right. Well done. Well done. Good work.